Hello and good morning. Welcome to Yoga for Everyday Athletes and Normal People too, depending on how you classify yourself. We're going to start in Child's Pose today. A little bit something different. Simply to start working. Today's a mix of things, but a little bit of core and a little bit of strength work. So in Child's Pose, we are going to do a little bit of movement and a little bit of rest. So bring your knees as wide as the mat and your big toes together. And then we're going to sink our hips back towards our heels. And before that, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Simply because I just smelled it. It was kind of a funny thing. And bringing our things back. And since it's morning and I'm not moving yet, I'm going to just put my elbows on the mat and kind of bend into my head coming down towards the mat. Right, so the inhale here in the movement is, first of all, just lifting our head, our kind of our torso and our hips up a little bit, and then settling them down. As we get going, the exhale will be more to straighten our back, but because we're early morning and we're still getting used to moving, let's just take it easy. So again, we're inhaling in through our nose. Exhaling through our nose. Trying to get our breath into our belly. When you are able to, you can stretch out your arms. The goal is to be bringing your head, kind of your face towards the mat. When I'm inhaling, I'm lifting up my torso and my hips, and exhaling and trying to bring my collarbone a little bit closer to my hips, collarbones to the mat. That would be interesting. All right, so now as we're getting a little bit farther into this child's pose, let's work on, as we come up, stretching out our hamstrings and glutes. By as we come up, we're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to try to straighten our back. So that means our hips are rotating from the top of our hips are going forward. Let's do one more breath. Good. Now let's come up to a tabletop and we'll do some cows and cats. And in cow and cat, we'll inhale, lift up our head, drop our belly, stick our butt out into cow, and then exhale, start to arch our back, tuck our hips under, and drop our head. And then inhale, up, and exhale, tuck your hips under. Okay, we'll do that 5 breaths. Exhale, cat, arch your back. And then come back to cat, and then come back to a neutral spine. Good. Now let's bring we're going to do some bird dogs and do some bird dog curls. So let's bring our left hand forward and our right heel forward or backwards. And then if you can, bring your right heel off the mat. So your heel is pointing backwards, your hand is pointing forwards. And then we'll inhale and we'll bring our left elbow to our right knee. And then come back out. Be a little careful as you come back out. And then inhale, exhale. We'll do this 5 times. And extend. And last one. And back. All right, come back down to neutral tabletop. And we'll do some more cows and cats. Okay, so another 5 of them. Again, we're really trying to wake up our spine. So drop your belly, stick out your butt, inhale and lift into cow, exhale. Inhale into cow. One more. Inhale into cat or into cow. And exhale into cow. All right, now we're going to come back to a neutral spine and do our bird dogs on the other side. So let's bring our right hand up, left heel back. All right, what am I hitting back here? Oh, my trainer. For just a scooch. And now elbow into knee and exhale. There's 3, 2 more. Oh, I just sounded like an aerobics class. Go, you can do it. Good, come back to tabletop. And we are gonna come up into a downward dog just for a second, but then come into a sun salutation. So come into a downward dog and let's work on our shoulders opening and inhaling our tiptoes, exhaling, coming down on one heel, up on tiptoes, exhale down. Good. Let's inhale, look to the top of the mat. We'll walk our feet forward on the exhale into a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale to a forward fold. All the way up to a mountain. And then we're going to go all the way back down. So I'm going to switch places and down to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, high to low plank. And again, you can meet us back into a downward dog. Inhale into a cobra or exhale in back into downward dog. And we're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, look at the top of the mat. Walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. All the way back down on the exhale. Inhale, half lift. And then as we're exhaling, we'll do a high to low plank. Inhale into a cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back. So again, when we come down, you can always skip all the high to low planks and the cobras and just go right to downward dog, or stay in a plank. It's up to you. Okay, last one. Forward fold all the way up forward into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain, all the way back down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog, and then back to a mountain. Okay, lift up your right foot into a three-legged dog. Bring it forward. We're going to come into a Warrior2. And we're going to hold this for about 8 breaths. Remember, Warrior2. Your hands are spread wide. The inhale is to try to rotate your hips and relax them. So the exhale is to try to sideways your hips, turn them sideways. Breathe into your belly. Let's get the sense of this. We're going to be coming back to these. Good. Now come into reverse warrior. Drop your left hand to your thigh. Bring your right hand up. Inhale, straight. Exhale, rotate back. So you're trying to open up your right side body. On the exhale. Last breath. Good. And now for time's sake, all we're going to do is bring our hands down. Let's rotate our feet so that we're going to come into a Warrior2 now with your left foot forward. Hopefully you got that. Okay. Arms out. So when you're in this pose in Warrior2, you have a bunch of goals. First of all, that you have weight equally distributed between your front and your back foot. That means your torso is more straight up and down. Your arms are straight out, pointing forward and backwards. Your left knee is over your left ankle. And you're trying to open up your hips and your shoulders so that they are pointing sideways. So that means that inhale is to relax that a little bit. Sometimes I just kind of push my front leg straight and then exhale it back into place. We'll do one more breath. Good. And we'll inhale. Bring your left hand up into the air. Again, you're inhaling, bringing your torso up. Exhaling, bringing your torso back. Okay, here we go. Let's cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Bring your left foot back into a downward dog. All right. That was well done. Now we're going to use both of those poses into a little bit different movement. All right, again, let's inhale, bring your right foot up and right foot forward. But this time we're going to go a little more quickly, and we're going to have Warrior 1. Inhale, exhale. And we're going to come into a reverse warrior. And now we're going to do our 1.5 breaths, and we're going to come into triangle. All right, here we go. Inhale, and now we're bringing our right leg straight. And now bring your right hand inside your right knee. Left hand is pointing up. So your base is 2 straight legs. And now I'm trying to bring my right shoulder down towards my right knee. Inhaling, relaxing my left shoulder and my left arm, and trying to bring my left shoulder back on the exhale. I'm going to flip around so you can see this is a tough pose for me. This is one of used to be my least favorite pose, but I practice it so much that I'm starting to like it. I'm still not very good at it, but it's just getting the torso around that's the challenge. Good. One more breath. Good. Now we're going to rotate. We're going to bring our torso up, bring your feet facing forward, and come into a wide stance forward fold. Your knees are going to be just a little bent, soft. And we're hinging at our hips. My hands are on my knees now because I'm afraid to let them go. Okay, now we can bring them down to the ground. So the goal, you'll feel what the goal is. The inhale is to come up a little bit with your torso. The exhale is to release your hips, your glutes, your lower back. All right, now you're going to love this transition. Okay, so move your hands over a little bit to your left foot. Then over to your right foot. And then keep your right foot around, rotate around into a low lunge. Look at that. How you just rotated your feet. So now your right foot is still forward like it was. Your left foot is back, and you're just opening up your left hip flexor just for a couple of breaths. I know it's an awkward transition, but all right, bring your right foot back into a downward dog. All this twisting and moving you're doing this morning. Nice work. All right, lift your left foot up. Bring it forward into a Warrior 2 on this side. Okay, so we're doing that same thing, but on the other side now. Warrior 2, left foot forward. Okay, so we're just doing this for a breath and a half. Okay, inhale into reverse warrior. Good. Now rotate your trunk, straighten your front leg, and we're coming into triangle on your left side forward. So now your right shoulder and right hand is pointing up, well, towards the ceiling. and your left is coming down. We're going to spend a couple of breaths here. We're just trying to rotate enough to get a little bit of movement. Good. Good. All right, now we're going to roll our torso up. Bring your feet facing forward. We're going to come into the wide stance, forward fold again. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit better this time. Bring your hands down to the mat. Breathe into your nose. I got to remind myself because I just forgot to do that. Trying to get into your belly. Good. Okay, walk your fingers over to your right side, your right foot. And then walk them over to the left. Rotate your feet so that you're coming into a low lunge on this side. Now your left foot is forward, your right is back. You're feeling the tension maybe in your right hip flexor and your left hamstring. My left hand is on the outside of my left foot, but I'm not quite getting around my knee, so it's kind of a little awkward. Got some tight muscles this morning. Good. That's what we're working on. All right, bring your left foot back into a downward dog. Last one of the night or the morning. Good. All right, let's roll forward into a plank. We'll hold this for 3 breaths into your belly. You're going to come into a side plank. So remember, you can drop your knee. So you can drop your left knee to support you. One more breath. Down back into a plank for 3 breaths. Yes, those are my breaths. And roll over and come on up to the side plank on the other side. Now, you can drop your right knee if you need to. Try not to. One more breath. Good. Come back to a plank for 3 more breaths. Good. Now we'll have a high plank and then down to a low plank, and then bring yourself all the way back down to the mat. And now with your chin on the mat, your hands back by your side. I'm going to kind of come at an angle here. The fish. And we're going to come into a locust pose. So in locust pose, we're going to first lift our head and shoulders off the mat, try to squeeze your shoulder blades, then your hands and your torso if you can. And then your feet and your knees if you can, so that you're on your belly. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together. When you inhale into your belly, you should be doing a little rolling back and forth. So there's a lot of butt squeezing, a lot of lower back squeezing, a lot of shoulder blade squeezing. One more breath. Good. Come on down. To bring yourself onto your cheek, left cheek if you wish. Breathe for a moment. We're almost done. All right, take an inhale. Come on up on the exhale. Hands in the air. Squeezing your booty, squeezing your lower back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. I think we're meant to be a locust, a flying locust. Good. All right, bring your hands underneath your shoulders to rest a second. We're going to roll around to a seated position, into a seated butterfly. And I'm sure my coffee is no longer warm. Butterfly, the soles of your feet are together. Now that we've done this, warmed up a little bit, inhaling our torso long and then dropping it forward. On the exhale, we come forward. Don't pull yourself forward, just let yourself fall forward. Do about 7 breaths. Maybe if I can count that high. Excellent. All right, good. Let's bring our feet back into our usual easy pose. What it's called? Easy pose, sitting pose, cross-legged pose. Find your breath into your belly. Have your hands by your side and just lift them up on an inhale. Exhale, put your hands together, bring them to heart center. And we will thank the universe for our practice this morning by saying namaste. Thank you for joining us this morning. That was a lot of work for the morning. It's cold in my little garage studio. I hope you are well. Check out more yoga, www.simpleendurancecoaching.com/yoga, and also look at whatever the coaching packages and strength training programs that we have. Be good today. All right, take care.